It's part of a series that I'm doing on covert narcissists, based on the INFJ, the awakened INFJ perspective. And what I like to talk about in this video is how the covert narcissist manipulates you. Okay, you have to realize that everything to the covert narcissist stems from a state of insecurity. They are insecure about themselves, so they have to manipulate you to use an energy supply to function socially, to function, just to merely function on a daily basis. Okay, they can't help but have a supply. They're always in a freaking relationship. They cannot help but be with somebody. Okay, and you'll also notice that the covert narcissist, once they are unmasked, okay, once they are found out by somebody, that somebody no longer want to do anything to do with that person. Okay, real life example, my narc aunt, covert narc aunt. Okay, what I observed with her is, before this, by the way, the reason why I'm giving this to you, because it's the only way I can help you. It's based on my personal experience. And I told you before, I was raised by 5 narcissistic women, covert narcissistic women in the past. Okay, and telling you this story is really what's gonna wake you up, and really what's gonna help you realize that there's people like this in life, man. And here on earth, there's people like these demons here on earth, and they go under the radar because covert narcissists are master manipulators. Okay, they are extreme master manipulators, man. They can fool you. Okay, they're scam artists. They love bomb you, they sucker you in, they give you compliments, they mirror you. Okay, they mirror things that you like. For example, you like let me see, for example, you like basketball or soccer or something, and they're like, oh, I like that too, oh yeah. And then what they do, like the next time you meet them, they're so enthusiastic about it. They're like, oh, like blah 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 blah, like Kobe Bryant this, Kobe Bryant that. Oh, did you know that Kobe Bryant blah 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 has this pet, like blah blah blah. Like they're trying to mirror you. They're trying to like get you on their side. And what they do is they will hold on to you. They'll do the bait and switch like this, and then after they do that is they try to manipulate your senses. What they're trying to do is they're trying to manipulate your senses. Okay, so before I get into that, deep into that, I'm gonna give you my real life example first, and then what we can extrapolate out of that, and I'm gonna expand upon this. Maybe a longer video, but I don't know. Maybe it's a short video, but I'm just gonna keep talking based on my INFJ perspective, based on my intuition-based thinking. Okay, it's not the same exact thinking. It's not concrete thinking. It's not mathematics. It's not science. It's raw INFJ awareness, intuition, man. That's what it is. So here's the story. Here's a real life story, man. So me, growing up in the Philippines, I was adopted from a very young age. Okay, but on this example, I'm just going to talk about one of them. The one prime, the worst out of the 5 narcissists who raised me. Okay, so the worst one, the way I can describe her to you, the closest thing is a paranoid schizophrenic. Okay, she doesn't suffer from schizophrenia, but what it is she makes up these extravagant, elaborate situations, like in her head. She's like, oh, if you didn't lock the door, it's gonna do this, blah 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 blah, and then she'll fucking beat you or some shit, man. Yeah, she beat so much kids when she was a teacher. That's the reason why she chose a profession as a teacher, so she can beat on these kids. I remember she would pinch, kids, and they will cry. She would do the same thing to me and shit, But at times I would retaliate. But the thing is, with her, here is what happened to me when I went to the the Philippines in 2017. I found out through my neighbor when I went to the plaza. Okay, I went to the plaza and then I came back and then I started talking about my aunt, like how my neighbors, like the whole barrio knows her, man. This is how bad it is. This is how bad a covert narcissist is. Nobody likes her, bro. Nobody likes my aunt and shit. She was not able to get married because of her shitty, demon attitude towards men. She's like a man hater, man. So once I became an adult, she started to hate me and shit. And one of her brothers, okay, if you don't want to believe me on this, one of her brothers committed suicide. Why the fuck did he commit suicide, man? Okay, I'm telling you this real story. This shit is a real story, man. If you look me up, you can confirm this shit. Okay. I'm not telling you to look me up, but see what I'm saying? It's, if you speak to the people that I know, you can confirm this shit. This shit is real, bro. So she tortured him so much that he ended up using drugs. That's the main reason why my uncle used drugs, is because of her. And shit, So ended up using drugs and freaking he got a stroke and then he fucking killed himself and shit. So that's what it is. So onto the story. So what I found out was I went to the plaza. I kind of went to see how everything was in the province that I grew up in, and and I found out there's like a lot of the people in the province they were telling me like the Philippines is like progressing because of blah 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 blah. The quote unquote progressive bullshit that they talk about, like they're paving the roads, they're putting cement here, they're putting concrete, blah 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 blah. I'm like yeah, whatever. I like the soil better. I like walking on the soil better because it's softer. It's better for the joints, because that's the way we're supposed to walk. That's the surface we're supposed to walk on, not this stupid concrete. Yeah, anyway, so what happened was I went to the plaza, came back, went to my cousin's house, who happens to be my neighbor over there. And what happened was I started speaking with his sister, who's like something like 8 years or 10 years older than me, and then I happened to talk about my aunt, like how bad she was, like blah blah blah, this and that. And what this neighbor did was before she went to Manila to go to college, and she happened to live with my aunt, with my narcissistic aunt over there, and it was a nightmare for her. My narcissistic aunt doesn't want her talking to guys and shit for some bullshit reason, And this woman wasn't a flirtatious woman. She's just like typical, quote unquote religious province girl. She may be naive or some shit, but she's not naive to the point where she's gonna date everybody or some shit like that. She's like and she told me my aunt didn't like her, like seeing her with other dudes and shit while she's in college. So there you go, there's one warning right there. But she would never. My aunt, like, she's a covert narcissist, so her attacks are private. Okay, she will attack you privately. If it's only you and her one-on-one, like face to face, that's when she start cussing at you, like shaming you, fucking calling you a pig or some shit. So so what happened was she was living there, and then she's like, oh, she would cuss me out whenever she sees me with a guy or some shit. She's like, oh, she's like, the word she used to describe my aunt is maselan. Maselan means picky, like extremely picky. I'm talking about like OCD picky or some shit like that, man. But the OCD thing that I talk about is not like being picky when it comes to objects and things like that. I'm talking about the people that she speaks to. Okay, she has like very small and extremely small social circle. Okay, she couldn't function in public. She just like that, because she's a covert narc, man. And people will pick up on it because it's obvious. You know, once she, especially now that she's older, you know, she does that shit. And what this woman told me was when she was a teacher, when my aunt was a teacher in the province before she went to Manila. Okay, she was a grade school teacher. She hit, and for some reason, she hit one of her students, and then the student got so depressed that to this day, okay, that student now is like 40 or 50 years old. That woman has to take medication just to function, you know, on a day-to-day basis. Just even to socialize, like, you know, publicly. Just to act normally, she has to like fucking basically be on medication and shit. But they never told my aunt this, okay? So the whole fucking barrio is her fucking flying monkeys and shit. I'm like the only one putting her on check, bro. I'm like the only one fucking standing up to this bullshit. Not even her brothers, okay? Not even my cousins, nobody, okay? Because I'm in the fucking military. I take nothing, you know, I take no shit from anybody, you know? I can detect the aggression too, the covert aggression, because, man, my personality is INFJ. Like, I'm like the worst person to manipulate, man. I was never fooled by advertisements, okay? I was never fooled by the fucking housing market thing going on, because, you know, they have that thing, oh, houses are cheap, you should buy a house. But I knew something was wrong and shit, so, you know, I didn't buy a house, and I avoided, you know, putting myself into debt, even if I had lots of money back then. So, you know, coming back from the deployment, you save a lot of money and shit like that. So, and everybody's encouraging us to buy a house and shit. So anyway, that's what my aunt did, was she hit one of her students, and the student today is, you know, having to take medication just to function normally in life. You know, so I'm like, I'm gonna fucking tell her that, okay? So I told her, and I told her in front. I was strategic about it, but I told her in front of her nephews, her cousins, and everybody else in public. That's why she fucking hates me, man. Everybody fucking hates me right now, you know? Her close friends hate me, okay? I don't give a shit. I'm hated by a demon. I'm glad I'm hated by demons, man. I'm not one of them, okay? I'm glad I'm not one of them. I'm the kind of person who, I used to fucking bend over backwards to, you know, covert narcissists when I was young. Because I really don't have any, I don't know exactly what they're doing and shit, you know? But now that I found out, now that I'm older, you know, I have awoken to the bullshit. Now, they cannot have me. They cannot manipulate me. So that's, you know, one story. And then the other thing that she did. Yeah, let me give you some more stories that this motherfucker did, man. So when I was a kid, okay, I was like walking in the yard. Yard made out of concrete. And then I fell on the fucking on the flat cement, okay, on the balcony. I fell and I don't know, I think I lost consciousness or some shit like that. And then when I regained consciousness, my nose started bleeding and shit. So I had some kind of let me say this. I suffered some kind of a concussion. You know, I was hit in the back of the head. And then, based on my fall, you know, falling on the ground like head first and shit. And then what happened was when I started like washing my nose and shit because I'm bleeding, she started hitting me and shit. I'm like, why the fuck are you hitting me? She's like, oh, you're blah blah blah, you're like this, you're like that. She started cussing me out and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm already bleeding and you're fucking hitting me? Like, you see what I'm saying? So I got pissed off and shit, man. So as young as I was back then, I started cussing her out. I called her a bitch or some shit like that, man. So, you know, from a very young age, I'm already standing up to these stupid demons, man. So, you know, and what you call the term for this people who don't stand up against these people are enablers, flying monkeys, okay? Enablers and flying monkeys, the same shit. So, you know, once you disengage, once you leave these covert narcissists, once you go no contact, you need to make sure that they're flying monkeys, okay, derived from the Wizard of Oz, the flying monkeys that, you know, torment Dorothy. You need to cut them off. You need to actually, you know, cut off social media for a while, cancel your Facebook account, your Instagram account, all shit like that, change your phone number, and then get a new one, okay? Get a new one and don't speak to the people who are under this fucking covert narcissist influence. Because the covert narcissist is like a cult leader. Is exactly like a fucking cult leader, man. Meditate on that. Really, you know, really think about this. These motherfuckers are charming. So people are like, they really like them on the surface area, okay? On the surface, they look okay. They look all right. They function well in public. What they did was they basically learned empathy. They tried to copy empathy and shit, you know? When somebody's trying to love bomb you, when somebody's trying to like compliment you, telling you to, hey, you should smile, oh, happy days, oh. You think this person is like real nice and shit, while the other person who's just like going about his day, hey, how you doing, man? I'm good, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm just going over here, like, you know, just looking for stuff to do, some shit. And those kinds of people are the normal people, bro. Yeah, the people who are love bombing you, who are like overly complimenting you. Oh, you should smile. Oh, look at me. Oh, they don't say look at me, but it's kind of like their stature, their fucking posture, chest out, fucking proud of themselves, overly proud of themselves. Narcissistic, fucking, you know, their covert thing will come out as overt, you know, from time to time. And that's one of the ways that you can figure them out. But most of the time they are hidden, okay? These people are like the real demons that the Bible really describes. You know, it's really described in the Bible and many other scriptures. And so what you can get out of the story with my aunt, those two stories, you know, there's still a lot more stories, man. I have endless stories of this fucking bitch, like treating others, not just me, okay? Once she gets to know you, even the person here, okay, I noticed like she met this woman. So this woman doesn't have a car and she doesn't drive, right? So my narc aunt started offering her car rides to the church, because they go to church together, to the fucking Catholic church, some shit, here in California, you know. So what I noticed too is like this woman started avoiding my aunt. She started avoiding her like fucking. She's like, oh, I already went to church, even if she didn't, you know, she didn't go to church or some shit, just to avoid my aunt fucking driving her to church. And she always say, you know, hey, your aunt is weird, like, what's wrong with her or some shit, you know. I'm like, I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Is I just gave her the thing that, you know, she's extremely picky, like the Masellan word. Yeah, I told her she's Masellan, you know. Masellan means picky, extremely picky, and, you know, when it comes to people or some shit. So that's what it is, man. So they are very selective in their victims. If they can sense that you're a nice guy or a nice gal, they'll reel you in. They'll sucker you in. They will love bomb you, okay? They'll make you trust them to the point to where you are believing most of what they fucking tell you and shit. That's why I told you before, don't let them tell you that the sky is green and that the grass is blue. Because you know deep within yourself that the sky is blue or sky blue and then the grass is green, okay? Don't let these fuckers bamboozle you. Don't let them fucking fool you and shit, man. I'm telling you, because it's a repeating cycle. It's over and over again. Love bombing, you know, idealization, making you, you know, seducing you. That's what it is. It's like seduction. It's like a magic trick. I made a video about this before, a magic trick. It's just like a fucking magician. Some shit, you know. She's a magician, like hypnotizing you. You'll be like, oh, so nice. Oh, like how many tricks you got? And then she started tricking you this, and then little do you know, your watch disappeared, your wallet disappeared, you know, all your cash disappeared, your shoes disappeared, you know, your favorite belt disappeared. That's what it is, okay? The ultimate illusionist, the ultimate fucking demon out there is the covert narc. The overt narc and other different types of narcs out there. I know there's many of them, okay? There's several of them if you go deep on the DSM-5, okay? If you go on the deep end of that, you're gonna find out there's several of them, but the thing is the covert. The covert one, it's the one that's you're dealing with on a daily basis that can actually get away from most of your senses, like most of your ability to detect, you know, because they're trying to fool you, okay? They're trying to fool you. They're trying to make it seem, they try to learn like how people, you know, give compliments, how people act nicely, because deep inside they don't have any empathy, okay? They do not have any empathy, and I do recommend that book, Empathy Trap, okay? Empathy Trap gives several examples, okay? I'm not sure if it's could be on Audible, it could be on a PDF online, you know. Usually these books are free. You can Google them, you know, you can download them and just like listen to them with a audio program or something if you're busy. So, you know, it gives a lot of examples. This Empathy Trap book gives a lot of examples of these covert narcissists railing in people, like tricking people into relationships, you know, tricking people into friendship. Okay? So what my aunt did with this woman, she reeled her in by her kindness by giving her rides to the local church, okay? And then all of a sudden I started, you know, whenever I go visit or some shit, man, like whenever I go see my aunt and shit, whenever they're offering dinner or some shit like that, I don't come all the time, but I just like, I'll pop in from time to time or some shit, you know. We have these, some Filipinos have these celebrations or some shit, some fiestas, some shit like that. So anyway, so pop in from time to time, and what I noticed was, I noticed her several times that she would be on the phone with this woman, and then she would say, my narc aunt would say, "Hey, I thought you said it's already." She's like, "I thought you're gonna be here at 7. It's already 7:30. Blah blah blah." But the mass doesn't start till 8 a.m. and the fucking church is like 10 minutes, you know, or 10 or 15 minutes drive. It's close. It's close by, and there's no traffic. So you see, like fucking, she's trying to fucking guilt trip this woman into becoming her slave and shit. And then I told this woman, I warned her, don't believe everything this bitch will tell you. Just ignore it. Just tell them, hey, I'm busy. You know, I gave the advice that I gave you on the previous videos. Appear busy, okay? Appear to be doing something. Appear to be, you know, occupied by something. And then she's not gonna bother you anymore because she sees that, you know, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that. You're directing your energy towards here. So you know, I cannot drain you of your energy supply, so I'm just gonna go find somebody else. Oh, who am I gonna call right now? Who am I gonna fucking torment right now? So that's what she does, you know. That's what's happening in her brain. And these people are really sociopaths, man. You want to go deep into that? They're really sociopaths, bro. They lack empathy. This woman, my aunt, she wanted to have a husband. She wanted to have a boyfriend. But time and time again, okay, and she even lived in the city. Time and time again, she tried to date men, and men always left. This is the fucking red flag that I also remember from my childhood. This man will give me chocolates, okay? They're like, oh, is your aunt here? Blah, blah, blah. So, you know, he would give me chocolates and, you know, try to bribe me. Oh, is your aunt over there? Like, upstairs? I'm like, yeah, it's upstairs. And I would get the chocolate and I would start eating it, okay? So, I mean, that's what it is. It's like courting behavior and shit, you know? And then they found out that my aunt, my adoptive aunt, you know, not my biological aunt. I'm not biologically fucking related to these fucking demons, okay? That's why my vibe is totally different. They're like, and people couldn't believe, like, when I went to the Philippines in 2017, they're like, why are you so different from these people? They're like, fucking, it's like, hey, talk to me. Like, why are you so different from these people? Like, you're like fucking open to like talking to other people, and you're like, you know, you're like a real person, and you're down to earth, authentic, and shit like this. And they're like, how come your aunt like fucking acts like everybody's a fucking an offender or some shit? Everybody's a fucking out there to hurt her or some shit. And she's never been in a fucking relationship with a toxic person. She's just like being herself. So I'm like, so I told them exactly, you know, like what she is. She's a fucking covert narcissist. She's a fucking, you know, Google that shit up. I told them, hey, Google that shit up. I don't have fucking time to explain this to you, but, you know, I'll give you more information if you ask me. You know, and I will, so I got their phone number and I just like give more information and shit. So you see what I'm saying? That there's people like this that live here with us, man. It's unfortunate, and, you know, as much as you try to love them, as much as you try to care for them, you know, you don't get the same care back, man. I'm telling you, you don't get the kind of relationships that they develop are one-sided relationships. So be careful when you talk to a woman. If you're a woman, be careful when you talk to a man. If the relationship is one-sided, meaning you're not getting reciprocated, you know, by what you give out, okay? You're doing them favors. You're caring for them, but they're not giving a damn about you. And this is coming from a fucking INFJ. I'm a real INFJ, man. Like, if you're still thinking that I'm not, go watch my previous videos. Notice how deep I go into the topics. Notice how different my videos are from all the videos are out there and shit, man. So, you know, I'm not getting paid to say this shit. You see, I'm not even asking for a Patreon. I'm just giving you value because I know that I was once like you. I was young. I was in my 20s before, and I didn't fucking know what I was doing. I was getting into, you know, toxic relationships like this and that, and I was wondering like why my aunt is like treating me like shit. As I get older, as I become a man, like the older I get, like the more shitty her treatment of me is. You know, when she treats the fucking kids like nicely, but in private, like when nobody's looking, they will hit them and shit. They will fucking physically abuse them and shit. Like they will set situations up to where, you know, the kid would like spill a drink or some shit, and then she would yell at him and fucking beat him or some shit with a stick, or like, you know, with her hand or some shit like that. And she gets a fix for that shit. You know, and she would even laugh and shit, man. So I'm telling you, these fuckers are demons and shit, man. And her brother that know about her, he doesn't even talk to her anymore. They almost got into a fight when I was there in 2017 in the Philippines. They got into a fucking argument over a fucking curtain. Over a fucking curtain. These motherfuckers are ready to fucking kill each other. Two people, 70 plus years old, getting into a fight over a fucking curtain, man. These motherfuckers are not broke. They're both fucking retired. You see what I'm saying? It's a fucking curtain, man. Like, what the fuck, you know? I didn't get involved in the fight. I just fucking let them be because they're old motherfuckers, and I don't wanna, I wanna get into negativity and shit like that. So, but if they reel me in, I'll destroy them both in front of everybody. I'm the kind of person now, since I'm an awakened INFJ. You try to do that covert shit on me, I will pull you out in public, and I will tell the public how much of a fucking bullshit, how much of a covert narcissist you are. I will ask you questions. I will really use my INFJ and intuition to make you react negatively in public. And you're gonna end up looking like a fucking idiot. Everybody will make fun of you, will point fingers at you. They will shame you. I'll turn this whole world against you. I will turn your pets against you. Yeah, your pets really like me and shit. Because deep inside, I'm a good person. I once worked in a alpaca ranch, an alpaca farm. Okay, alpacas are like really very sly and very sensitive animals. Go look it up. Go look up videos of alpacas. You can barely touch them. I'm the only one who can touch the alpacas. I'm the only one to where they're not running away. Okay, the second week I'm able to touch most of them, and I was never spat. Okay, they would spit. The alpacas, when they feel threatened, they will spit at you like camels. Okay, they're like in the camel family or some shit like that, llama family or some shit like that. But they live in high mountains and they're prized for their fur. Okay, so yeah, and the owner liked me so much because I worked there. Like I fed them. There's 800 or some shit like that. There's 800 of them, and then I worked the whole day. I would feed them. I would fucking clean the pans and shit. And it was with the veteran farmers association, and I really liked my experience there. I probably just go out there to volunteer one day, but they like me so much that they're willing to pay me cash to actually work there because they like my work, and the alpacas like me because I'm not a violent person. Okay, an animal like that, it's an animal like that. The first thing that the owner told me is don't go there unless you are feeling calm and shit, because the alpacas will detect if you are fearful, if you are scared, or if you're aggressive and shit. The slightest thing, the slightest fucking movement, the alpaca will fucking jump up and run away. And these motherfuckers can run fast too. So so anyway, that was my experience when shit, man. They're surprised at me. They're like, how the hell did this guy just popped out of nowhere, started cleaning the pens and started feeding the alpacas, and the alpacas doesn't spit on him. My shirt is clean as fuck, while the other workers' shirt is dirty as hell because the alpacas kept spitting at them. You see that? And then the other thing too is my cousin. He bought a cat and shit. Oh, he not bought a cat, but adopted a cat. And then the cat started liking me. This cat fell in love, so much in love with me that she started going to me once I get home and shit. She would actually leave him. Okay, he would have her on his lap, and then she would leave him and fucking go to me and shit. She would greet me at the door every single time, every fucking week, like this, week after week. And then my cousin was like, "What did you do? Like, what did you do to her? How come she's going to you? How come?" He was like, "Come over here, Penny, come over here." And so, and then I told him, because you're not feeding her, because I'm the one feeding her and shit. Because he would tell me like to feed her, from time to time. But it's not the feeding and shit, man. I'm telling you, it's the INFJ intuition. It's the intention. Your positive good spirit, positive good intention is detected by these animals. If you mean no harm to an animal, the animal is not gonna feel threatened. It's not gonna run away or some shit like that. So the only thing I still have not mastered is getting birds to land on my shoulder and shit, man. I don't know if I'm ever gonna master that, but it's the animals that they truly love me and shit, man. I don't know what it is. I never have bad blood against them unless it's like a fucking wild animal trying to attack me. So, you know, as far as the domesticated animals and shit like that, it's, I guess they feel my calmness, you know. They feel that, hey, this guy is calm, he's chill, is, you know, he's just being himself, he's not being fake, he's healthy, he's, you know, he's giving me food, or I'm not even really giving them food at all. It's just by me existing and just like really, you know, my body posture and things like this, and, you know, it's like I'm the fucking dog whisperer or some shit like that. But, you know, I don't do the same thing as Cesar Milan does. I just be my calm self and I do my thing, you know. If they told me to feed them, I feed them, and, you know, because if they know that I'm an aggressive person, if they know that I'm fucking because animals too, they also have the intuition and shit, man. It's not just, you know, not just people, not just humans, okay? So possibly, you know, the alpacas have a very highly developed intuition to where they know if like if somebody has a bad intentions towards them. Because one time there's a drunk guy, it's a drunk, like really drunk guy, came in out of nowhere, and the alpaca started like, you know, kicking their feet and shit, and they started running around the pen, and then the owner was like, what's happening? What's happening? Why are they going around? And then she found out that this drunk guy started like trying to pet them or some shit. Started going around in the fucking farm and trying to pet their heads, some shit like that. So, you know, they can detect, man. They can detect that shit. If you don't believe me on this, try to work and try to volunteer in an alpaca ranch, specifically an alpaca ranch, and you're gonna find out, man. These animals are extremely sensitive. You know, some of them you can pet because they have been pet a lot. But what I'm talking about are the ones that are kind of freely running on the pants and shit. And they will spit. They will truly spit at you. You know, if they don't like you, or they don't like your energy or some shit like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I knocked out another video that's based on reality and way better. I think it's way better than what you get out of the fucking therapist shit, because mostly the therapists, they're educated on the overt narcissist, but not much on the covert narcissist, okay? They are just now finding out about the covert narcissist, but I already knew about this because I grew up with them and shit. I grew up with 5 of them. I can write a fucking textbook on this shit, you know? I can like read nothing, start writing this textbook right now, and you're gonna be like, page after page, page after page, you'll be like, damn, this guy is fucking on point, bro. Like all this fucking crazy making, all this fucking these words that they spit out there about covert narcissists, this fucking trauma bonding. I already know that shit, bro. Like those words is fucking it's really hitting me on my heart because I've experienced that shit in real life. I'm just using different vocabulary. I'm just using different words because I don't have any frame of reference. I'm just like raw experience. I'm serving it to you in a plate, okay? It's up to you whether you want to eat it or not, because it's right there. It's right in front of your face, and everything I told you here is factual, 100% factual, okay? So if you're one of the hackers that want to Google me up, you can find that shit out, you know what I'm saying? It's so, you know. And another part of this is I like to tell you before I end this is develop logic, develop real, you know, detection for truth, okay? Learn if somebody is telling you the truth or telling you a lie, because this one skill will save your life. It will save you from bad relationships. It will save you from bad purchases, okay? It will save you from toxic people. It will save you from careers that are not good for you, okay? It will save your life, man. It will truly save your life and shit. So that's it for this video. Peace out.